Now from La Belle Provence and the Montreal Impact, Canadian legend and Impact star Patrice Bernier. Patrice, welcome, my friend.
Hey, how's it going?
It couldn't be better, Patrice. Getting ready for the Derby tomorrow night. Let's talk about it. I was just saying to Chris with TFC there a few moments ago that you guys were on that wonderful Champions League run, and then all of a sudden, about 5-6 games into the MLS season, you're struggling at the bottom, but now look here, you're knocking on the door at TFC to overtake them. How great is that you guys went through that rough patch and now are really battling for a solid spot in that Eastern Conference?
Yeah, start of beginning of the season wasn't easy, of course. With all the things that we have, it's no excuses. But we had new faces on the team. Team has changed tremendously since from the last year. Plus, Champions League had taken its toll because let's be honest, most of our efforts, if not all of our efforts, were concentrated on doing the best possible at that stage. But we were able to battle back to get through the ups and downs of the Champions League, and now finding our feet in the league, gaining some points, climbing the standings, and we are where we're at. 5 wins in the last 7 games, so that's good. We have to keep on going because MLS is a up and down league. So we have to stay consistent and just keep on taking points here and there.
Patrice, to me, it's not much that can be said in the locker room, in the dressing room at halftime, before the game or after the game with a team like yours. It's a veteran-laden team. There's not much you need to say to your teammates because they've been through a lot of big games. As we saw the Champions League final, some have been playing for their countries in big matches. I mean, how do you get some of these veterans really focused and understanding, hey, there's not much we can say to you because you're down or that you need this win or these points. So how do you try something different to motivate or get these guys really focused?
Look, at one point we just, you have sometimes some team meetings, some player meetings, and you just say, we have a good team. The club made efforts to go and get players to strengthen the team, to get a team that's more balanced overall through from one first man to the 28th, and to realize that we brought a lot of veteran leadership to make sure that we are able to deal with all the ups and downs, and that all these guys once everybody's fit, adapted, and really everybody's on the same mind frame and willing to fight to win and fight not to lose, then we're going to get some success because we know on paper we have a pretty good team, but we have to show it on the field. And lately we've been doing that. So we just have to manage the downs better because, of course, we had 1 or 2 losses there that weren't great performances, but we bounced back, which is very good because, like I've said before, in this league, you have to be able to sustain and maintain a level of taking points and not going too much in a rush, like we did last year, where we were too often in sequences of losses or draws and not able to gather wins on a consistent basis. And now we're doing that early on with some games in hand. So we're in a good position right now, and we have to keep that going.
Solid win over Orlando on the weekend, but it had to be nice for you to look across to see number 1 pick Canadian Kyle Larin, who lighting it up for Team Canada in the World Cup qualifying games against Dominica. You see Russell T-Bird with the Whitecaps having a strong season. How great is that finally to able to see, Patrice, a veteran of Team Canada like yourself for so many years, to see now these youngsters can play with the top youngsters in MLS, whether American, Central American, South American. They're finally stepping up and becoming stars in their own right.
Oh, it's good to see, of course. The older generation is coming to an end. Whatever it's Dwayne Derzar has recently retired, and you have Julian that's still there, getting leadership. But you have to realize that the future is in the hands of some of these young players. And like you said, you have Russell that's having his fair share at Vancouver and playing well and cementing a place there. Kyle coming into the league, I didn't really know much about it, but he's shown that he can hold his own, and he's getting his fair chance over there in Orlando and did quite well against Dominica with the national team. And it's in their hands now because the future is in as you can see that the roster is a lot more younger players, that don't have as many games, but have been under 20 or in the program, and they have a shot now with the Gold Cup coming up. Hopefully, having a good performance. But I'm happy for a guy like Russell, who's been at Vancouver. It's always nice to see Canadian guys at a Canadian club performing and being able to come out from. I'm not going to say it's because he's Canadian, but it's nice because for the program, for the national program, you need more and more players on home soil or in the league and abroad to perform and play regular minutes to be able to help the national team. And those two guys are doing it right now, and hopefully they can do it on a longer stretch also.
Patrice, are the younger guys in today's generation that are playing in MLS and some that you had a chance to play with in Europe before you came here are of a different mindset? I've seen this, I've heard it, I've witnessed it, compared to when you were young and playing, compared to when Nesta, Ferrari, and others that were there before playing growing up, that they would listen to veterans like you, they digest information, they would respect it. Unfortunately, I see too many of them now with a real strong swagger, a chip on their shoulder, and not in the good ways. In some, it might be in a good way for their team, but in most, I see it's individual swagger and a chip on their shoulder. How does that need to change maybe in your mind? Or maybe you don't think it has to?
Personally, I like when these kids come up with a little bit of confidence or arrogance. You need it at the elite level because it's all about proving that you deserve your spot. But sometimes maybe it's a little bit, some of these younger guys have to realize that they haven't really proved, they haven't played hundreds or 200 games to actually say, but you want them to be confident. But they need to also know where their place is, and you see, I look at Russell. He's been at Vancouver for quite some time, and now he's vice captain. He's gained leadership and gained respect because he's gone through the battles, and I think a lot of them have to realize that they do still have to prove on the field on a consistent basis, because a lot of times I know we like to hype players and because they perform once or twice, and then we put them on a hoopla, and then maybe also some of their entourage tells them that they're better than that. But at the end of the day, it's a career you have to make, not just a season. And but personally, I do like when some of these guys come in with some brash, with some bravado, and that they want to show that they have that confidence. But it's nice when it starts. But then it's when you get that first obstacle, when you're not playing as much as you're used to, because a lot of them come from university or the academy where they were the stars, and then they come to a professional environment and they're no longer the star, and they have to battle through a lot of adversity, and that's where you need to. I'd like to see some of these young guys be taking the first step to realizing that it's not always just the coach. You have to prove the coach that by training, by doing extra stuff, that you want to start, that you deserve to start. So I think it's a bit of both. I realize that some of them are maybe have too much swagger, which I don't mind, but it's when they hit that first wall where somebody is telling them indirectly that you're not necessarily good enough or you're not showing me enough, and that's where sometimes some of them crumble, where you need to see, like I said, I go back to Russell, I look at Ashton Morgan at TFC. It's not been easy for him, but you see that lately every time he's played, he's performed, and he's there, and he's working hard, and they'll get their shot.
Patrice, let me ask you. Yeah, absolutely, I agree. Let me ask you this, Patrice. I'm a parent of two boys, one still in the system here in Ontario at a high level. And I've been thinking about this the last year, and I'd like to get your opinion because I think your opinion matters a lot in this country. I look back and I say to myself, I wish I would have put my son in either a club or academy that had a paid youth coach, not a parent that had its son on the team, not someone that was just thrown in there that doesn't have much experience. And I think my son and many other players would have gone a lot farther in this province and in this country. Do you feel it's time, once and for all in this country, we're going to take it serious, that we need to pay youth coaches something and not have coaches that just get that entry-level license to coach? That we should have coaches that are going through rigorous tests to get their license to teach youngsters?
Yeah, I think we need to require that you get the proper badges. I think the system is now doing better in that sense. I don't know everything that goes through, but I'm a believer that you need the elite level. I think in Canada we're quite good because we're happy we have the masses, but do we have enough elite level? And it can't just be the Montreal Impact, Toronto FC, Vancouver Whitecaps, because not all kids are going to be able to get into the academy at a young age, and but they still need the proper training to maybe, if you're not in it at 12 years old, you might be in it at 15, 16, who knows? And if you want, at the end of the day, if you want to be the best, you have to train every day and you have to be coached every day. And it's nice that we have a lot of volunteers. There's a lot of people there that are driving, putting a lot of kilometers because they're passionate about it. And I was lucky that I had my father, the coaches, people that really wanted to push and really wanted to teach us. But nowadays you see that you need more coaches that are qualified and paid for the qualifications so that they can concentrate 100% on it and make sure that the kid that's there has his complete and devoted attention and he's at his best, not somebody that necessarily is working most of the day and then after that has to concentrate on putting in work, training, and is not necessarily concentrated on 100%. If you look at what Europe, South America, or the rest of the world is doing, they have a lot of coaches and qualified, so we need more money pushed into it so that those people can be paid and know that they can concentrate on their job 100%, knowing that they're paid according to their qualifications.
Just before we let you go, Patrice, we really appreciate your time. But to me, you mentioned something in there that really hit a chord at my heart. You're a parent, I'm a parent, and when I read some of the stories that took place with some of those FIFA scandals and those individuals that with money that gone missing here and there, you and I both know we live in a country in North America where our kids are blessed enough to have food every day, clothing, all the essentials that many other kids cannot have. And when I think about kids worldwide that can't play the game because can't afford a ball, boots, shorts, or a t-shirt, it bothers me, it hurts me. I need you to talk to the people out there in Canada, in North America, wherever they're listening to us, to talk to them and make them understand how important it is to give back, even if you're not a paid coach, but to give back to your community, to help those kids that maybe can't afford to play or maybe can't afford a ride from their mom and dad that need a ride to get them there. Speak to them, Patrice, because I know you got a soft spot for kids.
Yeah, try to help out kids my own way in Montreal and try to help out giving equipment or time, and it's not always easy. I know there's a lot of other kids with a lot of talent that don't have the same background as some suburban kids who have their two parents or at least one parent that's driving them here and there. And it's just to try to find, I know there's a lot of people that are putting in efforts and money to find ways to make sure that these kids get everything. I know there's some coaches that are there that necessarily the system doesn't have enough money and they put in their own money to just provide kids with proper lunch our way. And we just need to keep those people that are passionate just need to keep going, and that other people join in, to help out. Like I said, I was fortunate that my father and my mother did a lot, and people around there that were ready to pick us up, to bring us to training, to bring us to the provincial teams, and that were not always accessible. And I'm lucky to have had that. They pushed me, and they allowed me to get a chance to be where I am now, and we need more and more, so that the kid that has some talent feels that there's a support, and that he's going to get his fair shot to prove it, and to know that he can pay it back later on, because those kids that you push now will probably do the same thing, and it goes tenfold, and they'll probably be the ones coming back to start soccer camps, academies, or whatever to give back, because they knew somebody opened the door for them, and they'll be able to open another door or several doors for other kids.
Patrice, you're a class act, you're a classy player and a great human being. Good luck tomorrow night in the 4-on-1 Derby. And I want to say this on behalf of all Canadians. Thank you so much for always playing for the country of Canada, never saying no. We thank you for that, and we wish you nothing but success the rest of the way, my friend.
Thanks a lot, Anthony. It was a pleasure.
Class act, Patrice Bernier, proud Canadian, proud Montreal Impact, great human being. He's got his heart in the right place. Love having these people in our country.